Hi guys, this is Hina here with another 2-hour block of classes. It's so nice to be back. And my God, what is up with the browsers? Okay, so I can see that there are a lot of reservations for this class. That is awesome. If you have made a reservation, then now is the time to join. Okay, if you don't join now, you lose your reservation. I hope you guys can still see me, because I cannot see you. Ooh. Okay, let's see what's going on. So today we're going to be learning about currencies, all right? There is a PDF attached with the class description if you have not downloaded it yet. And we're going to be learning about the different currencies in some of the biggest nations in the world. And I'd love to hear about the currency in your country and what it's called, what its value is, and all that stuff. So this is going to be a fun business English class. I can see you guys. I don't know what's going on with my browser. It's just been acting up lately. Okay, so we have in class with us, we have Hamid. Hamid, nice to see you again. How was your conference?
My conference was so far so good. And if you give permission to me, I want to show some pictures about it.
You want to show pictures about your conference? Yeah, okay, sure. Just remind me like 3 minutes before the end of class, and we'll look at pictures from your conference, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. How about everyone else? How's everyone else doing? Hello. Hi. Everyone else? No? No one wants to talk? Aw, I'm sad. I thought you guys wanted to talk to me. That sucks.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Finally. I'm like, talk to me. How's it going?
Good.
Oh, connection is weak for a couple of people. All right. So welcome over here. It is Monday evening, so it's the first day of this week. I'm excited to get this week kick-started. All right. This class, as well as the next class, are going to be with me. This class is going to be, like I said, focusing on business English. So who's excited? Woot woot? No?
I am excited.
All right. So Hamid's excited. That's awesome. All right, so as soon as everybody starts flowing in, and like I said, if you have a reservation, then the first 2 minutes allow you to join. After that, the seats go for everyone else in class, okay? So was everybody able to open the document that I've attached with the class description? Hamid, are you on it? Yes. Are you posting it?
Yes, I posted second time.
Oh, okay, awesome. Guys, I'm having like crazy internet issues. I can't see my Hangout. This is really strange. Hold on, just give me a minute. Give me a minute while I try to fix this, okay? I'm right here. Okay, my Hangout has frozen. But you guys can see me and hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's weird because I don't see anyone, but I can hear you guys. So just give me a...
Same problem with about for Lisa.
Lisa, teacher Lisa? Okay. So, oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now I see you guys. This is so awesome. I hope it stays this way. All right. Oh, we have Robson, Murad, Jose, Isa, Hamid, Talal, yes, Anna, Amarid, and Abdul Wahid.
Hello, teacher.
And we also have quite a few people who are joining us in the chat. So hi everyone, really nice to have you guys join us. And like I said, this is a business English class. In case my connection acts up again and I can't see you guys, I'll let you know, but hopefully it'll stay. All right, Robson, are you ready for teaching us about Sao Paulo on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm preparing.
You're prepared?
Do my best.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be.
You think it's going to be fun? That's awesome. For all those who are watching and listening, Robson is going to tell us all about Sao Paulo on Wednesday. The class is scheduled for 8 p.m. EST or EDT time zone. So it's going to be really fun. Robson, I'm super excited to hear about it.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Welcome. My name is Hina. I am your teacher for this hour as well as the next hour. Let's get started with introductions, all right? So let's say our name, let's say where we're from, and let's say what we did this past weekend. I know a couple of you were traveling and a couple of you were out of town, so let's hear all about it, all right? As you guys know, I am from Canada. I did absolutely nothing because it is so cold here. Even though we're almost in the month of May, it's still like really windy and it's really cold and it's just, I hope it would be nice spring weather like you guys have in Brazil. But oh well, that'll just be a fantasy. How degree? It's like right now it's like 8 degrees, like 8. So it's kind of cold. All right, so let's get started with Robson.
Hi guys, my name is Robson. Like Hina has just said, I'm from Brazil, city of São Paulo. 30 years old, working as a police officer here in Brazil.
That's
Yeah.
Did you bust some bad guys this weekend?
No, because I'm not working at the streets right now. But I used to do a lot.
So that's awesome. So you guys know that expression, to bust some bad guys? Yeah? That's our common way of saying in North America, to catch bad guys. It's a common way of saying to catch bad guys. So somebody who's like, you know, not obeying the law, Robson's like, I'm taking you to downtown, all right? So that's called busting some bad guys, catching some people who are breaking the law, all right? Thanks, Robson. Next we have, next we have Jose Guillermo.
Well, I'm from Costa Rica. I like to study English. I think that's it.
Okay, all right. What did you do this past weekend, Jose?
Well, I was in home. I like swimming. Then I went to swim, and I think that's it.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jose. Next we have Isa. Hi, Isa. Nice to see you again.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. And you?
I'm good too. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you did this weekend?
Okay. My name is Isa. I'm Nigerian, living in Saudi Arabia. So actually, we don't have a weekend here on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
It's a weekday.
Your weekend is Thursday, Friday, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So what did you do this very past weekend?
I just spent my time on my bed sleeping.
Nice. It was a lazy weekend. Sounds
Yeah.
good. So, thank you, Isa. Next we have Hamid.
Yes, hello guys. I'm Hamid from Turkey. At this weekend, Saturday was good, but Sunday was very bad for me. Saturday, last day for my congress, and Sunday I returned back my city, but I waited in 7 hours bus terminal.
Ooh. So your bus was delayed. That sucks. But you're back home now, right?
Yes, and my journey lasted 8 hours. I have just come yesterday morning.
Perfect. So welcome back, Hamid. Nice to have you. Next
Thank
we have Talal.
Yes, hello. Can
Hi.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi. Okay, hi. My name is Talal. I'm from Syria. Actually, now I'm living in Egypt because of my studying. I'm a GP. I'm working at hospital. My last week was very exhausting week.
Exhausting
Week, sorry. In hospital.
Okay, all right. Perfect. Thank you, Talal. Next we have Anna.
Hi, teacher. Hello, everybody. I'm from Mexico. My name is Ana Laura. I'm 24 years old. Right now, I'm studying international relationships.
Ooh, perfect. That's awesome. Anna, is this your first time in my class?
Yes.
Perfect. Really nice to have you join us. It's always great to see new students. I hope you like the class. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Anna. And next we have Amareed.
Yes. Hi, Hina.
Hi.
I am Amr. I am from Egypt. I am 21 years old.
Mhm.
Yeah, I stayed at home last week because I have to study the hard because I have an exam next week.
Is it an English exam?
Yes.
Best of luck, Amareed. I hope you kill it. I hope you do really, really well. I hope you do awesome. You like ace it and you like get 110%. Best of luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we also have a couple of new people who joined us. We have Max Wendell.
Yes, hi guys.
Hi.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh my God, because I've been
I'm
seeing
putting
you
my
for like at
microphone
least a
here.
couple of minutes.
Yes, I'm preparing my microphone. So
Okay.
you hear me better now?
Perfect.
Yeah, so I'm excited to be here because it's my first time here. So yes,
You know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen, Mac?
no, I don't know how it work.
Okay, this
I'm
only
here to learn.
works. This only works in my class. All right. I don't know about other teachers, but if you are new and you are in my class for the first time, this is what happens. Look, I'm so excited that you're here.
You are so funny.
Oh well, thank you. So you
I'm
get a
glad
happy
to
dance.
see.
I'm
It
happy.
is Hina's tradition.
I'm happy to see you. And Anna,
So-
here, I'll do a little body shake for you because it's your first time in my class.
So let me say some things about me. So I'm from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
I'm studying English for some months, and I'm studying very hard because I want to leave. I want to get my PhD in Canada. So yes, I'm I'm studying at master degree.
Mm-hmm.
My major is genetics and biology research.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
That's awesome. So it's really nice to have you join us, Max. Is that how you say your name? Is it Mac or Max?
Yes, Max.
Max. So
Yes,
Max,
you are right.
I am from Canada. I live in Toronto, and
Wow.
I have my bachelor's in microbiology, and I studied a lot of genetics when I was in university. I went to the University of Waterloo.
It's also my tutor.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Canada. So he told me some things about Canada, and
You're like, I
I
love it.
become
I have to go there. I love it.
yes, he really told me many things very good about Canada. So, but he lived in Victoria. I don't know how can I
British
pronounce
Columbia. Yeah, Victoria. Victoria is on the other side of the country from where I live. It's in a province called British Columbia. So it's really, really far. I live in the province of
Yeah.
Sorry, I live in the province of Ontario, and Victoria is the capital of the province of British Columbia. It's a beautiful
Yes.
city.
Yeah. So 2 years later, I want to move there. So
Perfect.
I should learn English right now. I should study. I should study hard
Mm-hmm.
to make the TOEFL exam
Mm-hmm.
and
Best
have
of
good
luck.
grades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best
want
of
to
luck.
have-
So I hope to be seeing more of you on Verbling then for practicing.
Yeah. So I need practicing my
That's
English.
awesome. Welcome, Max. Nice to have you join us.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And lastly, we have Nemo.
Yeah. How is it going with you, Hina?
Not too bad. How are you?
It's great.
Awesome. So why don't you introduce yourself, Nemo, and then we can kickstart this lesson.
Okay, I'm Ahmed. I'm from Egypt, and I work as an accountant. And the last week, I didn't do anything but work. It was a really busy week at work.
Accountants.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, we have tax season right now in Canada. So accountants all over the country are really busy filing people's taxes. So I understand what your life is like.
And
Perfect. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Two of my colleagues at work is in a vacation.
Oh, so
And
you're
I have to
like.
do my work and one of their work. Yeah.
So you're doing work of 3 people. Yeah, that can be taxing. All right,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So Nemo, thanks for joining our class. I feel like this is your first time in my class too.
No, it's a second, but
It's
the first time it was for a short time, just for the last 10 minutes.
Okay, all right. Well,
I didn't catch the class from the beginning.
I hope you can stay for the entire class today. Welcome.
Yeah, today I will try.
Awesome.
I'm really fall asleep, but I will try to keep the last.
All right, that's awesome. So I can hear a lot of people who are asking me questions in different languages in the chat. In this class, I only respond to English. So if you ask me, how are you, Hina? I will respond to that. I do not respond to ¿Cómo estás? Because, I actually don't speak Spanish, but I know what that means. So I'm very well, Samir, and English should be the language that we communicate in class as well as in the chat, all right? So guys, Hamid has been nice enough to post the link for our Google document that we're using. We're going to be reading a PDF document about currencies, okay? So I'm going to be sharing my screen and you guys will be seeing the document that we're working through. Everybody is going to have an opportunity to read, ask questions. We're going to learn lots of different vocabulary. For all those who are thinking of moving abroad or studying or working abroad, this is going to be a great class because it'll give you an idea of, where the country you want to move to stands economically and in terms of currency. And I'm very biased because I live in Canada, so we're going to be focusing on Canadian currency. So this is going to be awesome for Max.
Yeah. I think so.
Samir, that's best. I'm awesome. Thank you, Samir. Okay, so you guys don't have to read from my thumbnail. You can just you can look at it from your own screens. I'm just sharing my screen so everybody knows where we are on the screen. Okay, so you guys can see it, right? Yes. You guys see my screen? Yeah. Okay. Yes. I'm actually sharing the wrong screen. I want to share the other one. This one. This is the one I want to share. There we go. Okay. So currencies. Do you guys know what this is? This is the US dollar, British pound, euro. So we're going to be learning about different currencies and their values. Okay? So let's go through a quick test. What do you guys say? All right? So
okay, let's start.
Okay. So if you guys know the answer, you can yell it out. Okay? So do you know what countries these types of currency are from? So number 1. The yen. Where is the yen from, guys? Japan. What do we call it? It's called the Japanese yen. Okay?
Japanese yen.
Japanese yen, exactly. Okay? So what about pounds sterling?
United Kingdom.
United Kingdom. Pound sterling is from the UK, or a lot of people also say England. Okay? Next, we have the franc. Where's the franc from? Who knows that one?
Switzerland.
Switzerland. It was called, it was called the franc before France converted to what currency?
Euro. Before the euro.
Exactly. So before the euro, it was franc. Now the country that uses the franc is Switzerland. Okay. So it's called the Swiss franc, all right? So you wouldn't say Switzerland franc, you would say Swiss franc. Just like a person from Switzerland is called Swiss, like he's a Swiss person. Yeah, right? What about D, peso? Where's the peso from?
Mexico.
Latin America.
Argentina.
Latin America.
Latin
actually.
America. Yeah, Latin
And
America.
many
There,
countries.
quite a few countries use the peso, all right? So who can name one country from Latin America that uses
Colombia.
peso? Colombia. Abdullah. Hi, Abdullah.
Hi.
All right. Oh, and Argentina uses the peso as well. Awesome. And the last one, E, the rand. Where is that from?
South Africa.
South Africa. Yeah.
South Africa, exactly. And these are just some of the very, very popular currencies in the world. What's the currency of the U.S.?
US dollar.
U.S. dollar. Yeah, U.S. dollar. Exactly. When you're talking about U.S., you have to specify U.S. dollar because there are other countries that use the dollar as well.
Canadian dollar.
Yeah, Canadian dollar. What else? What other countries?
Australia.
Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Singapore. Singapore has a Singapore dollar. So a lot of countries have dollar as their currency. So when you talk about a specific country, you have to put the country's name before the dollar so you know which currency you're talking about. Awesome. All right. So what about question number 2? Have you ever been to a country that uses another form of currency than yours? What was it like using another form of currency? So, Abdullah, you live in Germany. Have you ever been to a country that uses another currency?
Yeah, Turkey, for example.
What's the currency of Turkey?
It's Turkish lira, isn't it, Hamid? Yeah, Turkish lira. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like? Was it very different using Turkish lira over euro?
It is actually different if you, if you uses euro and then if you have to use Turkish lira, it's very different. Yeah, you can buy many things if you change euro to Turkish lira.
Yeah, euro is worth more than Turkish lira, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 euro is apparently 2.3 Turkish liras. Awesome. What about you, Isa? When you moved from Nigeria, how was it converting from one currency to another?
Actually, I was born here.
Oh.
So I'm usually living here, but I've been in different countries: Egypt, my country, Ethiopia, Ghana. So I've been using different currencies.
How does that feel? Does it feel strange? Is there a learning curve? Do you guys know what a learning?
I think it's okay. If I know how to exchange your money, that's it. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you, Isa. Yeah, so there's always a learning curve associated with some things, right? Like, for example, if you buy a new computer with a new operating system, there's a learning curve. A learning curve is basically the time it takes you to get used to something new. Okay? That's called the learning curve. So when something takes you a short amount of time to learn it, is that a short learning curve or a long learning curve? It's a short learning curve, right? If it doesn't take you a lot of time to learn it, then it's a short learning curve. All right? So yeah, so learning how to use different currency is usually a short learning curve. Perfect. Thank you, Isa. Okay.
You're welcome.
So number 3, what do you know about converting currency? Have you ever converted money? What does it mean to convert?
Exchange.
Yes, the same exchange.
Yeah, exactly. So to convert, to exchange, all right? So what do you know about converting currency? Max, what do you know about converting currency?
I'm not good about this lesson, but all the time I have to convert it. My money, my bill, in dollar, for example. For example, when I want to buy a laptop, for example, last month I bought my laptop, this new laptop, and I bought this when the dollar was not very expensive. For example, I don't know how can I say.
Strong.
Strong. So my laptop become cheaper. So I have to check the strength of the dollar to buy my laptop cheaper.
The strength of the dollar. The strength of the dollar. When something is strong, it has strength.
Yes, strength of the dollar.
Okay.
Yes, that is.
Perfect. Yeah. So currency, we describe currency as being strong or weak. All right. So if the currency that you are buying is very expensive in your money, then that is a strong currency. What is a strong currency right now in the world?
Euro.
Euro. Exactly.
Dollar.
What US dollar is strong, but it's getting weaker. All
Yeah,
right.
it's good.
Pound is a very strong currency. Yeah, pound is definitely very strong. Kuwait
dinar.
Kuwaiti dollar? How much is
dinar?
Okay, how much is it? In one Kuwaiti dinar is how many US dollars? Do you know?
US dollars about 3.6, something
wow.
like that.
Yeah, so that's a strong
it's 22
currency.
Egyptian pounds.
That's awesome. So that's a strong currency. Do you guys know that the Australian dollar is stronger than US dollar as well? So that country, yeah, their dollar is stronger. Like 20 US dollars is about 17 Australian dollars. So you get more US dollar for each Australian dollar. So the US dollar is actually getting weaker, all right? It used to be one of the strongest currencies in the world, but Europe, and even sometimes Canada, Canadian dollar sometimes overtakes the US dollar. Okay, and it's because of the US economy. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Max. So number 4, we already answered this question. Do you know how many countries use the dollar as the main form of currency? Can you name any countries that have the dollar? We already spoke about this. All right.
There are a lot of countries that use the dollar.
Yeah. What's the
South Africa, Canada? What?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to ask. Do you guys? What is it in Mexico? Who knows what it is in Mexico?
Peso.
Peso. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's peso. Yeah.
Okay. I actually wasn't too sure, which is why I asked. Yeah. Perfect. US dollar is getting weaker. I'd rather be getting my salary US. Yeah. I mean, the US dollar isn't like all that bad, but in comparison to other currencies, it's weak. Like in comparison to other comparison to other dollar currencies, it's not as weak as it used to be. It's not as strong as it used to be. It's weaker. And number 5, how much money do you spend when you are on vacation? Let's see. Who has been on a vacation recently?
Me.
Me, Hamid? How much money did you spend on your vacation?
Maybe 50 Turkish liras.
50 Turkish liras?
No, 100 Turkish liras.
How much is that in dollars? Convert right now.
In dollars, almost $60.
That's a cheap vacation. Robson, what about...
because when I didn't go, my hotel money is very expensive. It was 350 euros.
Wow, that is expensive. 350 euros is a lot of money. 350 euros would be like over $400. So that's a lot of money. Right? Robson, what about you? You took a vacation recently. How much did it cost you?
Well, as I didn't have money in cash, I had to make to use my credit card account. So
I don't know how much I spent. I could have spent thousands of dollars. I don't know. It's all on my credit card.
Yeah, that's my problem too. When the bill comes over to my house, I think I will cry for months. I think.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
around $500. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot of money too. So Moises in the chat is saying that he spent $3,000 on his last vacation. I can go to Europe and come back in $3,000 and still have money left over. That's how much money $3,000 is. That's a lot of money. Moises, where did you go? Why don't you write it down in the chat box? All right. He's not in class. Where did you go? Yeah. All right. Awesome. So yeah, so we're going to be answering some of these questions as well in our document. All right. So let's move on to page number 3, currency and overview. All right. So we're going to be reading this page, As you can see, there are a few paragraphs. So I'll get you guys to read each paragraph, and if there's any questions, any word that isn't clear, any phrase, do not hesitate to ask. All right, guys? It'll be yeah. So if you don't ask, then you'll never know. Bon voyage inside Brazil is expensive. I have heard that traveling to Brazil is very, very expensive. I've heard that. Maybe that's why I haven't been so far.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's get started. So, Anna, can I get you to read this first paragraph up here?
Sure, teacher. Currency. Currency and overview. Currency, in short, is money, but paper money like bills and coins. Different countries and systems have their own forms of currency, which are used to buy products and services. When people visit a place with another system of money, they need to exchange their money for the system of currency in use. Money is legal tender for goods, debts, taxes, and
Charges.
Taxes and dues or fees.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. You read that very well for us, Anna. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty an overview of what currency is. So currency is basically paper money, so bills. What you spend on a credit card or a debit card, we wouldn't call that currency even though it is money. But currency is the physical money that you can see and touch and exchange. All right?
Yeah.
Any questions about that first paragraph?
So it's like a cash money.
Cash, yes. Exactly, cash money. So for example, if you go to a currency exchange, you cannot get money from your credit card exchange. Like you cannot say, convert my credit card into another currency. You can't do that. Currency has to be the physical money that you touch and you exchange.
I got it.
Yeah. All right, perfect. All right. So if there's any questions, you guys can ask me, all right? If not, then let's move on. Talal, can I get you to read this section of the second paragraph, please?
Okay, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Most countries control the production of their own form of currency. For example, the United States Mint produces all the coins needed for Americans and visitors to use. There are 6 U.S. mints located across the country: Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, West Point, Fort Knox, Denver, and San Francisco.
Perfect, thank you. So there are 6 mints. So basically, the places where coins are produced for the United States, all right? And the 6 mints, these are the cities that they are located in. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for that, Talal. Next, Jose, can I get you to finish off the paragraph?
Okay.
The Bureau.
The Bureau.
Bureau.
Bureau of Engraving and Printing is responsible for paper money. One exception is the euro. The euro is The euro is the form of money used by all countries in the European Union who have ceded control to the European Central Bank. Some countries that belong to the European Union and use the euro as their form currency are France, Austria, Germany, Greece, Luxembourg, and Italy.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. All right. So these are just some of the countries that have converted to the euro. What is one country that is in Europe that is part of the European Union but does not use the euro?
England.
And
Switzerland.
Yes. So Switzerland and England, they are part of the European Union, but they do not use the euro as their currency. We already learned that Switzerland uses the Swiss franc and England or Britain uses the pound. Okay? And why do you think they didn't convert? Why do you think they didn't change?
Because they have a strong currency.
Exactly. Their currency was very strong. The British pound is worth more than the euro. What about Switzerland? Why did Switzerland not convert?
Because the banks there, all the banks.
Mm-hmm.
The
Exactly.
people,
Yeah. Exactly. So everybody knows that Switzerland is considered to be one of the banking capitals in the world. A lot of people keep their money in Switzerland. So Switzerland did not want to cede control. Now, what does this mean? Now, with this word ceded that we read, so Switzerland did not want to cede control to the European Central Bank. What does that mean, to cede?
To lose power, maybe?
To give up power. You don't lose power, you willingly give it up. Okay? So lose power is like the American dollar is losing power. They do not want to be weak, but because their economy is so weak, they are losing power. When you cede power or you cede control, you willingly give it to somebody or something else. So all the countries in the European Union, they said, we want to convert to the euro. So we will give up our own currency to start using the euro. But Switzerland did not want to cede their currency because their currency, A, was very strong, and B, they wanted to be diplomatic, right? They didn't want to be like, oh yeah, euro is really strong, so we're going to convert, all right? Everybody keeps their money. A lot of people keep their money in Switzerland, so they wanted to have control of their own currency for that reason. Okay?
You know, before we had euro in Germany, we had German mark, and German mark was also strong, and lots of people, they regret that they introduced the euro in Germany.
Yeah, exactly. But do you think it was a good move overall, or it was a bad move?
I think it was a bad move. Yeah. If we had the euro, we had a better life than now.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people say about their own currencies. Yeah. That if we had and that's one of the reasons that these two countries didn't give it up, right? Because they knew that they would lose power in the long run. Okay. So, do you guys have any questions about this paragraph? Are there any words that you don't know? Yeah. Which one?
What the meaning of engraving?
Engraving. Okay. All right. What is engraving, guys? Who knows what it means? Okay. So you guys know wedding rings, right? Like a wedding ring, a band. It's metal, right? Some people, they have I love you engraved on the wedding ring. So it's when you have stuff that is written or made on metal. Okay? That is an engraving, all right? So if you, for example, if you're very romantic and you want to write the name of your partner on your wedding ring, you will not write their name. Writing is usually like you write with a pen or you write with a pencil. When you write on metal or if you make something on a piece of wood, you're not writing it, you are engraving it. You are changing the shape into what you want. Okay? You guys understand what engraving is?
Yeah.
So when you see a coin, there's no drawing. It's nothing written on the coin. It is etched. Another word for engraving is etching. So it is etched or it is engraved into the coin. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome. So the bureau. What's another word for a bureau?
Office.
Yeah, exactly. A bureau is another name for an office. All right. So to be more accurate, a bureau is responsible for something. Okay. So in this case, we have the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. All right. So this office is responsible for printing paper money. All right. So in the US, the coins are printed or the coins are made at mints. So when you see US Mint, that makes a coin. But when you see the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, they make paper money. Okay? So one exception. What's an exception?
Exception.
Nothing
Something
according.
that
It's not
Not the
general.
same.
Yes, something that is not common. All right. So an exception, so something that is different, basically. So something that is different is the euro. The euro is the form of money used by all countries in the EU who have ceded control, who have given up control, who have given up their own power to the European Central Bank. Okay? So some countries that belong to the euro and use their currency and... Sorry, Max?
No, yes, it's something that it's out of the ordinary.
Exactly. Oh, not ordinary.
That's it.
The ordinary, yes. Out of the ordinary. Exactly. Thank you, Max. Any other words, guys, before we move on? Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Let us get Nemo. Can I get you to read this up till here of the third paragraph?
Several countries. Okay, several countries can use the same name of their currency. The USA adopted the dollar in the 1700s. Other countries like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and Hong Kong all have dollars as their main form of currency. It should be noted that they are all different dollars and still needed to be converted.
Yeah.
In other words, a US dollars can be spent in Australia. US dollars would be converted.
I'll get somebody else to read the next. Thank you so much for that, Nemo.
Yes. You're welcome.
Isa, can I get you to finish?
Okay. Well.
US dollars would be. So third paragraph, fourth line.
Okay. What is the US dollar here? I'm trying to read. Okay. US dollar will be converted into Australian dollar before being a US dollar.
Before being accepted. You're reading the first line again.
Okay. Before being accepted at an Australian
establishment. Yeah.
All dollars are not worth the same amount either. At a time, the US dollar the US dollar might be worth more than a Canadian, like Canadian dollar, or
vice versa.
The exchange rate is in flux and changes daily.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Isa. Okay. So we already talked about this, that how many countries, they use the dollar as their currency, but it's not the same dollar. Okay. So if I write that, what does that mean? What I wrote in the chat, what does that mean?
$20
$20.
Yes, 20. No, so you would say $20 US. Okay. You would say $20 US. What about what about that? What is that?
Canadian $30.
30 Canadian dollars. Okay? You say the number before you say the dollar or the currency. Even though we write it like this, like we say, even though this is written as $40, we do not say $40, we say $40. Okay? Same with the euro. You do not say euro 5, you say 5 euros. Okay? So, same thing. And with so what about this? What is that?
32 New Zealand dollars.
Perfect. 32 New Zealand dollars. Okay. So all these, this is how you would tell which currency you are using. Okay. But if you are in the United States and you are spending dollars, you would not write US dollar 20. You would just write dollar 20 because you are in a country that is using the dollar and you are using that same currency. Okay. But if you are talking about different dollars, then you would write the country and then the country code. So the country code for the United States is US, for New Zealand is NZ, for Canada is CA, and so on and so forth. Okay? For Singapore, it's this. So Singapore dollars. Okay? And as well as Hong Kong and Australia. Okay? US dollars, so US dollars can't be spent in Australia. And what is vice versa? So that word, vice versa, what does that mean?
The other way.
The opposite side.
The opposite side is what?
On the contrary?
No, on the contrary, it's not the same thing. Vice versa means that the opposite of what you are saying is also true. It's the same, exactly. So what would be the opposite of the US dollar might be worth more than a Canadian dollar? What is the opposite of that?
The Canadian dollar might be stronger than the US dollar.
And it will still be true. This statement will still be true. So vice versa means that whatever you are saying, the opposite of that can also happen. Okay? Perfect. Thank you, Nemo. And what does it mean that the exchange rate is in flux? What does in flux mean?
Not stable.
Yes, that's a very good. So when something is in flux, it is not fixed, it is not stable, it is constantly changing. And currency is constantly changing. I mean, what the exchange rate is today, it's not going to be tomorrow or the day after, and so on and so forth. Okay? Any questions about that paragraph, guys? No? Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty, yeah, if there's still any words that you guys don't know, what's an establishment?
It's the place.
Yeah.
And hotel can be an establishment, for example.
Exactly. Basically, anything that is a business that uses currency, and everything uses currency, right? You go to a hotel, a restaurant, a golf park, a theme park. These are all establishments. You go to a spa, you get your hair cut. Anything or any place you go that uses money and provides a service. So when you are using a service and you are paying for it, you are at an establishment. Okay? Perfect. Okay. Let us move on. Let's see. Robson, let's get you to read the next few lines. So go ahead. Robson, you there?
Other
Robson?
countries.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Other countries have other forms of currency besides the euro and the dollar. In Japan, the current form of money is the yen. The Swiss retain their own monetary system and have the franc. Mexico has a peso system, while Brazil has the real. The same is true for countries on the African continent.
Perfect. I'll get somebody else to read the next. Thank you so much, Robson. And Hamid, can I get you to finish it off, please?
Okay. South Africa uses a rand as its main monetary form. It can be difficult to remember what money is used where and when on vacation. So people have to remember that all money forms are not equal. People sometimes spend more than they intend to when visiting other countries.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Hamid. Okay. What is a monetary system?
Money system.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, monetary system. A monetary system, money system, how you use, spend, earn money, what your currency is, all of that comes under monetary system. Okay? Any questions about that paragraph? Any words that you guys don't know?
No.
No? Yeah, perfect. It's all pretty clear. Okay? Robson, you're typing and we can hear you. I don't want to mute you again, so I'm just letting you know. Okay? Okay. Alright. Looks like there's still an irritating. Yeah, I know. So Robson, if you just want to keep yourself muted, that would be awesome. Okay? I don't want to mute you again, so you can do it. Okay, so perfect. So you guys read all that really well. So let us move on to the next page. Vocabulary tasks. Match the money unit in the left column with a country that uses it in the right column. So dollar.
C. United States of America.
America.
Exactly. 2. Euro.
Germany.
Perfect. 3. Franc.
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
4. Peso.
Mexico.
Yeah. The real. How do you say that, Robson?
Real.
Real. I was trying to be
We
all
used to
Brazilian.
say real.
Brazil.
Yeah. Brazil and the rand.
South Africa.
South Africa. Perfect. So bonus question. Let's see. Let us get Anna, let's get you to answer bonus question number 1. Name 2 other countries that use a form of the dollar.
Hong Kong and El Salvador.
No, the dollar.
Singapore.
So, and you can say anything. Canada, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia. These all countries, they use different forms of the dollar. Okay. Thanks, Anna. And Robson, let's get you to do bonus number 2. Name 2 other countries that use the euro.
Euro. Germany.
Other than Germany, name 2 other countries. So aside from Germany.
Okay, any country
that uses the euro in Europe.
Oui, monsieur.
Spain, Portugal.
Spain, yes, exactly. Spain and Portugal use the euro as well. Okay.
Well, I gave you a hint. Why did you choose it?
France, exactly, France. Yeah. Nemo, which country would you have said?
I would say France also.
Yeah. What about Max? What about you? Which country would you have said?
I don't know. Iran.
Sorry, England doesn't use the euro.
I don't know. I'm not good about this.
Italy.
You guys help me about
Netherlands.
Okay. Italy.
I can say Albania.
Can you say Albania? Yeah. So
Albania.
You guys have to remember that there are a lot of countries in the EU, but not all of them use the euro. The biggest exceptions are England or UK or Britain or whatever, or however you use it, and Switzerland. Robson, I'm gonna mute you because you're typing loud.
And Hina, I want to remember Norbert and Hungary for euro.
Yes, Norbert's not here with us right now, but Norbert is from Hungary, and Hungary uses the euro as. Do they use the euro? I feel like Hungary might have used some other currency. Well, I think you're right. I think they use the euro. Okay, perfect. So let's go on to part B. Choose the word closest in meaning to the vocabulary word used in the main reading. So we read all these words in the main reading. So now we're going to talk about what they actually mean. So Abdullah, number 1.
Currency is B, money.
Yes. No. Okay. Why is it not? What else is it? What else can it be?
Pills or?
Sorry, what did you say?
Money. Pills.
Sorry, I totally did not hear you.
Pills, number C.
It's actually B. It's money. Okay. Currency is money. All right. Bills. We'll learn about what bills are in a little bit. Okay. So, but Abdullah, you're right. Currency is bills. Okay. Next, let's get Anna. Can I get you to do number 2? What are coins?
Metal
money.
Metal money.
Metal money. Exactly. Metal money. All right. So, and how do you write things on coins or metal money? What do you do?
Engraving.
Engraving. Yeah, you engrave symbols and words onto metal money. Awesome. Thank you, Anna. Next, let's get Talal. Number 3, bills.
Okay. I think D.
Sorry, bills. is what?
D, number D.
Number D? No, bills is not domestic money. What is bills, guys?
Paper money.
Paper money. Exactly. All right? That's why currency is not bills. Bills, you only talk about paper, physical money. Okay? When you talk about currency, currency is the entire money of a country. So it can be bills, it can be coins. All right? So it's money. Bills are just paper bills. It doesn't include coins. Coins are metal money. You understand, Talal?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Talal. Next, let's get Hamid. Hamid, number
Yes.
4, exchange.
Exchange. C, trading.
Perfect. To trade is to exchange. Awesome. Isa, number 5, exchange rate.
Number 5.
Mm-hmm.
How much money? No.
Okay, who'd like to help Isa out? What is number 5, guys?
D.
Yeah, can you read it?
The amount one currency is traded for another.
Perfect, exactly. So if I say that the exchange rate for US, Canada is the same, what does it mean?
One US dollar same with one Canadian dollar.
Exactly. So the exchange rate, what the value of one currency is in another currency. So a lot of times, exactly, they are worth exactly the same. All right. So exchange rate is what the amount is that one currency is traded or exchanged for. You understand, Isa?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Next, let's get Jose to do number 6.
Flux, A, always changing.
Exactly. And it can be increasing or decreasing. It doesn't need to be only an increase or a decrease. It can be the same. All right? Perfect. Thank you, Jose. Next, let's get Max. Number 7, mint.
Mint. Place. At the place, letter A.
Is it A? Place where no, it's not
No,
A.
no.
You wanna try again? What is a mint? We covered this in our reading that the US mint.
Letter D. The place.
No.
Okay.
It's C.
C.
Yeah. A mint is where the coins are made. Where are bills made in the US? Paper money, where is that made in the US?
Zero.
No, where are bills made in the US? They're not made in mints.
They're in the Bureau of Engraving
and Printing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you, Abdullah. So you got
You're
the
welcome.
US Mint makes coins. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing makes paper money. Okay? Do you understand, Max?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Next, let's get Nemo. Nemo, convert.
Convert, change.
Exactly. So to convert, to change. Awesome. Robson, number 9. Adopt. If you're talking, we can't hear you because I muted you.
Wow, that was so rude.
Robson, number 9.
You're so mean today.
Yeah, I am. Oh, Robson. No.
Take letter A.
Sorry, what is 9?
Letter A, take.
Letter A, exactly. To take. When you adopt something, you take it or you start using it. All right? I covered this in an earlier class that to adopt is not just when you adopt like a child for your family, like when you adopt a baby. To adopt can also mean to take. So in Canada, this is going to be really helpful for Max and Robson. When you are driving on the highway, it tells you to adopt a lane.
Yes.
What does that mean, to adopt a lane?
Adopt a lane.
Okay. It means pick
Right
one lane. Yeah,
line.
exactly. Pick one lane and drive in that. Do not go from one lane to another, because on the highway you drive really, really fast, right? So when you are driving on the highway, you'll see signs everywhere that say adopt a highway. okay, or adopt a lane. It's not asking you to take the highway home with you. It's asking you to pick a lane and drive in that lane. Do not change lanes, okay? So adopt means to take, all right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Robson. And lastly, Abdullah, number 10, please.
Yeah.
One second. Oh dear.
A legal tender.
No, I lost. Wait a second. Wait a second. Here we are. A legal tender is a money that is accepted for use.
Yes, exactly. Tender money that is accepted for use.
Hey everybody, welcome to class.
Okay, someone is Max is watching another teacher's class. Okay, all right. And that is the end of our lesson. How did you guys like that? Did you guys enjoy that class? I saw a lot of people saying that they didn't know a lot of the stuff that we were covering in class today. So that's awesome.
Interesting and nice.
Awesome. So it was really nice to have you guys join me in this class. I'm teaching the next class as well, all right? So if you guys want to join me for that, you are more than welcome to do so. We are going to be learning some common, we're going to be correcting some common English mistakes that people make all the time when learning a language. So if you're interested, join me there. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next class, okay?
Okay, see you.